So, in my opinion, in order to build a sustainable and successful communities, I think energy is definitely a topic and issues that we cannot avoid. And so, in nowadays, our daily life involves use of a lot of electrical applicants, and electrical applicants is well known powered by electricity, and electricity is actually generated by various sources of energies. So nowadays, the electricity is mainly generated by conventional fossil fuels, which will cause a lot of adverse effects such as air pollution, water pollution, and etc. So, in order to build a successful and sustainable community, I think a shift in energy type is a must actually. So, the shift into a renewable energy is foreseeable. So, nowadays, for example, in India's ocean thermal energy plant is being built already. Because India has this natural advantage of a long coastline, so ocean thermal energy can act as a great road and there to generate renewable energies. So I think this kind of renewable energy definitely helps to cut down different kinds of pollutions and in order to build a sustainable and successful communities.
So I really agree with you because energy actually relates to environments a lot because the generation of energy actually use up some natural resources like fossil fuels, and the usage of energy will actually pollute the natural environments. On top of point, I think cost is really an important factor when building up a sustainable environment because many people may not care about the adverse impacts that brings by the usage of energy, but they will definitely cares about the cost. For example, in the past few years, electric vehicles does not become the mainstream in the market because the initial price and the operation cost of electric vehicles is actually very high. However, due to the war between Russia and Ukraine this year, the price of petroleum actually goes up to a historical high, so that the using electric vehicle actually becomes a cheaper way. So the sale volume of the electric vehicle in China actually goes up, increased by about 120% in the past year. So that it shows that cost is a really important factor when building up a sustainable and community in our social society.
Yes, as you guys mentioned that we cannot rely on using fossil fuel to produce electricity, and we have to shift to using renewable energy. And when it comes to renewable energy, that is a important factor. The energy efficiency, because nowadays I think that the most common used renewable energy is the solar power.
Yeah.
Like for UST, there is a lot of solar panels on the roof,
Yeah.
but the solar panel has only around 20% of the energy efficiency, so it is very low. So we have to improve the energy efficiency in order to have a long-term
energy benefits.
Yeah, I agree.
benefit.
Oh, so as James has mentioned, the Ukraine and the Russia war have actually caused the fossil fuels or the petrol price has rise to an unbelievable peak.
Historical
and also,
high.
Yeah, and also the solar panel energy efficiency only about 20%. I think, and combined with these 2 points, besides the restraint and technology of solar panels, one of the reasons why solar panel or solar energy has that low efficiency is because of its natural constraints. And the reason why the oil price rise to that such peak is also actually a natural constraint, as Russia has its own natural advantage of in history to create such a large amount of fossil fuels, and also for solar energies. I think in order to make solar energies an efficient renewable energy, actually it requires a large amount of flat land in order to install a sufficient amount of solar panel in order to make solar energy more cost effective. So I think natural constraint is definitely matters in various kind of renewable energies, and I think this will be a main challenge for us.
Yeah, I do agree with Carl's point because energy efficiency does not only affect the environment because when you use less energy, you actually produce less pollution to the environment. Actually, it reduces costs at the same time because when you use less energy, the the bills of the electricity may also be lower comparing to with before. So I think although the sustainable energy has so many advantages, we should also care about it's extra expensive because the technology is not so mature now. So no matter the initial cost or the operation cost of some sustainable energy is really high now. For example, I don't know if you know that the Three Gorges Dam in China, which is the largest hydroelectric dam in the whole world, it actually spent about 200 billion to build up that dam in the beginning of the 21st century, and the price will be a lot higher now. So it really takes we should really cares about the extra expenses when building up these sustainable energy power plants, because when you are going to spend money, somebody will blame on you, or they will have objections, which will affect the process of building up a sustainable energy society. Building up a society use the sustainable energy.
Yes, due to the natural constraint and
Extra expenses.
Expenses, yeah.
There will be some conflicts
yes.
between different stakeholders, because as you just said, the Russian may have a lot of fossil fuel, you see, fossil fuel, but maybe other countries don't have that many fossil fuels. So when other countries want to have deliver the renewable energy, but Russia may don't want to, so different countries cannot
they have their own point. They have their own point of view.
So the development may be slowed down because of that, and also the extra expensive the tax. The citizen may not want to pay their taxes to the government to let the government to deliver those technology on renewable energy. So there may have some conflicts occur.
Okay. So I think we all have mentioned some of our points. I've talked about the energy sources and all that kind of thing, and I think Carl have mentioned about energy efficiencies and the extra expenses or the cost of energies. So I think the two of you, you mentioned is actually the sub point when we are talking about energies. So I think, to my point of view, and I think we can all come to an agreement, is that when we are building a successful and sustainable communities, definitely in the futures or nowadays already, energy is still plays the key role in our societies in different aspects of life, no matter productions, daily life, and all that kind of things. So to build a sustainable community or even societies, I think energy is definitely the most utter important point nowadays or in the futures. So.
Yeah, I do agree with you that energy is definitely the main point when we're considering building up a sustainable community, because it not, as just I have mentioned, it does not only affect the natural resources we used, it actually affect the pollution we produce. So I do agree that energy is the main point when we're considering building up a sustainable society.
Thanks.